Remember when Lexus built reliable cars? Well, I will take you guys on a trip down memory lane with this LX570. This is one of the best cars that money can buy. I'll include a link to the Land Rover here in Lehigh's website in the description down below. They've got this one for sale. If you have any questions, ask for Bradley. I'll also include a link to my car buying guide. Let's get into it. Powering this is a naturally aspirated 5.7 liter V8 that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. This puts out 381 horsepower, 401 pound-feet of torque. This engine's very reliable. Like seriously, I dare you to try to kill this engine. You won't be able to do it. This thing is the definition of reliability. I'm trying to hit 500,000 subscribers before the end of the year. I'd really appreciate it if you'd help out with that. Now, in normal Lexus fashion, you've got sharp lines on the hood. You also have a very sharp design with the headlights, and then, yeah, the massive grille. None of us really like it, but, you know, it's not as bad as the new one. The new one's even bigger. Fog lights with this too. Altogether, the front end does look a little bit funky, but I will say, if you get off-road bumpers on this thing, it actually looks pretty cool. Tire and wheel setup is 275 by 50 by 21. You've got silver on the top, metallic gray there in the center. This also has nice fixed side steps. You've got fancy trim on the door handles, also with the windows. And the side profile of this thing obviously has some similarities to the Land Cruiser, but you've got the bumpers front and rear that make it look a little bit different. Now look at this fancy pants key glove this comes with. Kind of nice, but yeah, you've got lock and unlock, open for the hatch. Now you've got the adjustments for the seats to raise and lower them, which is pretty fancy pants. And yeah, you've got the seats here on the side, just like the 200 series, even though you've got some power function, so you can have space or a third row. Nice to have that function. And this thing has a tailgate. This is such a nice thing to have in a vehicle. The taillights here on the 570, pretty sharp looking. Got your 570 badge there. You see the Lexus logo in the center. Now the back end of this is not nearly as offensive as the front end. Actually, it looks pretty good. Now I will say, opening up these doors, they feel more solid than my 200 series Land Cruiser. The back passengers get these little sunshades. You've got the kind of like gloss wood trim here, but yeah, really tight fit and finish. Very nice material use overall. The seats also have nice trim. They're perforated down the center section. Legroom in the back is solid. We also have some vents here for the rear passengers the camera doesn't want to focus on. And then you can see the little lights up top. And by the way, you've got good headroom. Keyless entry for up front, and let's pop in. Blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. You've got a nice finish on all of the window controls. The mirrors power fold in. You also have memory seat functionality. 1285 is the payload, so pretty similar to my 200 series, a little bit less though. Now these seats are definitely more comfortable than my 200 series. They also have power adjustments. You've got thigh support, all of that. And let's fire her up. I love wood on steering wheels. We need to make wood great again. We need to bring it back. Come on. You got some controls for the center stack. You've got little cruise control stock. The older Tortoise had volume controls, voice command controls on the other side, and then little paddles there on the back. Analog gauge clusters also need to make a comeback. Like, look how beautiful this is. Digital just can't compare. And this is enough digital. Like having the little center screen to give you different information, that is all you need. Now the camera system, which is not popping up on my camera very well, the resolution, not the greatest, but you know, it gets the job done. And then when it comes to the infotainment system itself, it's controlled with the little like wiggly keypad thing. I'll show you guys in a little bit. This is one of the worst things that ever happened, and it's not a touchscreen, so yeah, it's not user-friendly. But at least the dash around the system looks nice. Got a clock down below. We've got analog controls for the climate. Gonna get your dual zone up front, radio controls with that too. And we've got a mess of controls here in the center. So this is that stupid infotainment system toggle. Of course, you got the shifter, actual shifter, which is nice. Heated and cooled seats, they do have auto function. You've got a heated steering wheel, and then we've got a bunch of off-road stuff here. So the big items, this does have crawl control as well as multi-terrain select. Again, it's a Land Cruiser at the end of the day. It's got a full-time four-wheel drive system with a 2-speed transfer case. This has the height adjustable suspension. You got a center diff lock, ECT second, trail turn assist. I mean, it has all the Land Cruiser stuff. The only difference is Land Cruiser has KDSS. This, again, has the active height control. And then when it comes to the center console here, you can see we've got good storage. Nice trim here on the top. It's actually held up quite well. This has over 100,000 miles. And then we do have a sunroof with this too. Now brand new, these LXs were like over $100,000 or about $100,000, but now they sell for about the same or oftentimes less than an equivalent 200 series because Toyota cultists like myself like to have the Toyota badge. Let's see how it drives. Part about these is just the long-term resale value. Like, these Toyotas are always worth money. This thing's a 2016 with over 100,000 miles, 115,000 miles. Obviously still runs, which is impressive for a modern car because a lot of these modern cars barely make it to 100K nowadays. And it's still worth over 40 grand. So yeah, it just goes to show you that the Toyota reliability with these V8 vehicles, and you know, just with the NA Toyotas in general, is just fantastic. I haven't driven one of these since I reviewed them brand new, by the way. So this is like a trip down memory lane. And you know what's really weird being a car reviewer, because I'm constantly around the new cars all the time, is going back and reviewing stuff that, you know, is no longer new and being like, man, I feel like I was wrong back then when I reviewed this, because this is a lot better than I remember. And that's definitely the case with this. Like, there are certain things that definitely feel outdated, like the camera system, and the infotainment system's garbage. But boy, does this drive well. The suspension's so comfortable. The active height control system compared to KDSS on road, it's a little bit more comfortable. And it handles, I mean, it's not, well, no, actually, I'd say this corner's more flat than my 200 series. Yeah, the steering seems to be better. Everything seems to be better like that from a handling perspective, so that's impressive. The 200 series is more truck-like with the drive, which is why, it's one of the reasons why I bought it, is because I like that more truck-like experience. But this is very appealing, especially like you combine this with off-road use. That's very appealing, being able to have like a luxury car drive off-road. I'm surprised someone traded this in at a Land Rover dealership. But I'm also not surprised because, well, here's why. I would think that someone that has one of these would just get a newer version, but maybe they wanted like a different car. The new LXs have had quite a few issues. That's why I'm actually going to long-term test one, is I want to see how far we can make it without the car blowing up. But yeah, these older ones are great, as long as you take good care of them. Man, that was a little bit of a harsh shift. Interesting. Maybe that's why they traded it in. But yeah, the acceleration's great. This V8 is so smooth. It's got great power too. Yes, this is so comfortable. Like, if you've never driven an LX, you have to go and because like the Land Cruiser, like I said, it's good, but it's not as luxe. Go and drive an LX and you'll understand what I'm talking about. Like, this is such a good luxury car. It is so comfortable. And I think this is actually before they did thicker glass in the windows. No, this actually has double pane glass. They were doing that all the way back in 2016. It's like modern cars are finally getting that across the board, and you know, they were doing that in the LX back then. But yeah, it helps out having the thicker glass to insulate. Man, this is a nice car. You know, with how expensive the 200 series are and with how many more LXs there are on the market, I kind of think this is the better route to go now. And again, the front end is heinously ugly. But, you know, like Descent Off-Road makes bumpers for these now. So you could make it have like an aggressive off-road appearance. Obviously, you're cutting up your car, but you're buying a used car anyways. So it's like, hey. I will say this isn't as comfortable driving as the new LX, but it's so good. I guess if my long-term LX Overtrail review doesn't go too well, as in like the car blows up, maybe I'll jump back into one of these V8 LXs afterwards. Cleanse my palate, right? Man, if you can get yourself one of these in like good condition, and just, again, as long as you do the regular maintenance schedules, and especially the, you know, there's a big maintenance schedule on Toyotas every 30,000 miles. Don't miss it, folks. Don't miss it. You get those done, and man, this is a car that can go hundreds of thousands of miles. I mean, this drives better than many new cars, and it's basically 10 years old at this point and has over 100,000 miles. So it's quite impressive how nice this is, how quiet it is. And just the interior, again, like this obviously it has some wear, but it's held up extraordinarily well. And this is the thing that's appealing about Toyota and Lexus over other manufacturers, is that with the other manufacturers, you have this much mileage on a car and the interior is just falling apart, or it shows so much wear. Like Ford is such a good example. Man, even after 10,000 miles, Ford shows so much wear and tear. This has less wear and tear than a Toyota. Can I beat this person? Yes! V8 power! Utah traffic aggression. Don't be me. I thought it was funny though. Anyways, also this has a heads-up display back in 2016. Wow. Let me know what you guys think about the LX570. I think these are kind of a little bit of a gem. People don't look at them. Again, I didn't look at them because I wanted a Land Cruiser. But if you're not going to be a cultist like me, this right now is probably a better value than the Land Cruiser, and you do get more car for the money.